Welcome to part 2 of my C-section video. That's right here. If you have not seen this video, make sure you go back and watch this one because this is the continuation from that video. And yeah, let's go straight into the video. They had suited me up to go back there. I had to put a net on my head, and then I had on like a little gown or whatever with the back open. And they had gave my fiance like this full-on surgery looking suit, and he also had a blue cap to put on, and his suit covered like his whole body, his shoes and everything. And they took me back to the room first, and basically I had to sit up like on a table and sit up straight and have my back kind of like this, like hunched a little bit, but as straight as possible, and lean forward like this. And they gave me a spinal tap like right at the bottom of my back, all the way down there. And they said I had to be very still because if I move, I can mess something up or possibly paralyze myself. So yeah, that wasn't really heartwarming, but it didn't hurt that bad. They gave me a numbing shot first, and then they did the spinal tap. It didn't hurt as bad as I thought it was going to hurt in my head. So if you're worried about that, don't worry too much. It's definitely going to hurt, but it's probably not going to be as bad as you're thinking. A little baby time to lighten the mood. But yeah, so they had did that, and once they did that, I had to lay down on a table and stuff, and they were prepping everything for the surgery. And they asked me did I want the curtain open or not, if I wanted to see everything that's going on. I'm like, heck no. Whoever wants the curtain open when they get a C-section, you're literally a psychopath. Like, what is wrong with you? It's like, no. But that is weird. That's very weird of you. So yeah, they were asking me did I want the thing open. They were just telling me everything that was going on, and they were just prepping me and like opening up the bottom part of my gown and setting up the curtain to block me from seeing everything. Then they had to keep like plucking and pinching my legs because I could still feel for a long time, and I was really worried because I could still move and wiggle my toes, and I was like, bro, I could still feel my toes. Like, I heard so many stories of girls where they said like they weren't completely numb and they could feel stuff. So like I was panicking. I'm like, I can still feel stuff. I might need another dose because baby, I ain't trying to feel nothing. I do not want to be like them girls. That sounds horrible. Like you can't really move for real, but you still feel pain. So I was telling that, and they was like, oh no, don't worry. You might can wiggle your toes a little bit, but you shouldn't be able to feel anything right here. And they start pressing on my belly, and like I literally could not feel it at all. Like I couldn't feel that they was touching me. So they had finally kicked in. It was like, okay, we're about to get started. And they started doing the surgery. I literally did not feel anything until they had to take him out. So basically, like, I was just sitting there not really feeling anything. The only thing that happened was like, after they gave me the spinal tap, I did throw up. Like, I threw up like almost immediately. And they said that's normal. It's just like your body reacting to a new thing. Like your body never had that before. So yeah, they said it's basically just my body reacting to what they put inside of my back. And I had threw up. And unfortunately, they couldn't rinse my mouth or anything or something like that because I forgot why. I just wasn't allowed to have anything. Like I couldn't have no water or no food or nothing like that. So I just had to sit with throw up mouth for the rest of the surgery, which sucked. But the surgery wasn't that long. Surgery was only 30 minutes long, and 15 minutes of it was like prep, to be honest. So yeah, I had threw up, and then the rest of the time they had gave me like this breathing thing that they put inside of my nose, like this little oxygen thing. And I'm glad they gave me that because for some reason during the whole surgery I just felt like I was struggling to breathe. Like I couldn't breathe for some reason, and I don't know if it's just because I was just hyperventilating or what, but like I really had to focus on my breathing. Like I literally had to sit there and like remind myself, breathe, like in out. Like I had to keep saying that in my head because like I just wasn't breathing on my own for real. Like I had to force it like and do it manually. So yeah, that was going on. That was a bit weird and scary. I didn't really like that part. And then they were all talking to me during it while it was going on. Like they was trying to ask me like questions about my life and stuff, and I literally was just ignoring them because like I just cannot focus on a conversation while I'm in the middle of like about to get a surgery. I had never got a surgery before, and like I was just kind of like having internal dialogue in my head and stuff, and I was kind of scared and nervous and stuff, and I don't remember what my favorite color is right now. Like y'all about to cut me open and take this baby out. I can't think straight. I can't think about stuff like that. I would rather just sit in silence. So I just wasn't answering them for real because I just couldn't answer. And then they eventually got the memo, and the rest of my surgery was pretty much like quiet. Like they weren't talking to me. So yeah, I didn't feel anything until it was time to take my baby out, and that's when they went back and got my fiance, my fiance Anthony, that's when he was allowed to come back. When it finally was like near the part where the baby was about to come out, where they were about to pull him out. So they had brought him in, and I felt a little bit of tugging when the baby came out. It was not painful, but definitely like uncomfortable, not painful. And it was done really, really quick. I know some people had it way worse than me, like they had to get wiggled around and stuff when their babies got taken out. But my baby was kind of measuring small anyway, and like he kind of had like a slim fit, so he fit through the hole pretty easily. So they got him out really quick and easy, and I didn't really feel any wiggling for real. I felt like maybe one little tug and he was out already. So yeah, he had came out, he was crying and stuff, and my fiance got to look at him and stuff first. I don't think he got to cut the cord because I got a C-section, which kind of sucks. But they did bring the baby to me after they had like wrapped him and got him a little clean. Not like completely clean, like he didn't get no bath or nothing, but like I guess they wiped him down, wiped the blood off of him, stuff like that. They wrapped him up in a swaddle and they brought him over to me, and it was holding him by like my head and basically just allowing me to see him and talk to him and like hear his little cry. I put like a little clip right here. And yeah, so that had happened, and then they had to take the baby again to like measure him and just make sure everything was okay. And I honestly think he's sleepy, so he's acting a little chaotic. But yeah, after they had brought the baby to me and cleaned him off and stuff, they had took me to a room in the hospital, and they brought the baby in there, and like they were just getting him together and stuff. I got to hold him and try to get him to latch, and he actually latched automatically. He didn't need no help for real. He just automatically started latching and eating. So that was good, but we did have a problem where like he had to get taken from me and the dad because he had fluid in his lungs, like he wasn't breathing properly. And they were saying that they think he had fluid in his lungs because when babies come out the regular way, they get squeezed over and over and over while they're in the canal about to come out. And basically squeezing not only helps them come out of you, but it also helps them get all of the fluid and stuff out of them before they come out. But you know, when you get C-section, you don't do that. So yeah, they were saying they think amniotic fluid was still in his lungs, so he had to get taken back to the NICU for a couple of hours. And they're basically just trying to get the fluid out of his lungs using some type of ventilator or something. And then he was brought back to the room and he was breathing a lot better. But he also had another problem where like he couldn't keep his temperature up for some reason. I talked about it in my birth vlog video right here. So if y'all want to hear more about that, check that video out. But he ended up getting his temperature up to par like they needed it to be. And yeah, the C-section was not bad at all. It actually was like a perfect C-section. Everything went the way it was supposed to go, and it wasn't bad at all. The worst part for me, to be honest, was the freaking recovery. And like that honestly started, the recovery pain started like maybe like 4 hours after my C-section. I was just sitting in the bed with him and stuff, and I just started feeling like my incision scar like burning. And at first it wasn't like an intense burning, it was like a slight burn. I'm kind of like an ow, but then it turned into like intense, like ow, this hurts. So yeah, that's when they started giving me like those heavy medicines that they give you when you get a C-section. Like they be giving you the medicines that you literally hear about in rap songs. Any like all of those stuff that you can think of that they be doing in the rap songs, that's literally what they was giving me. So yeah, I had to get intense. I don't want to say the D word. I don't want to say the DRUG word because they might flag me or something, so I don't know. But I had to get heavy dose, like heavy stuff to help me go through the pain, to numb the pain. And probably like 5 to 6 hours after my C-section, I got moved to a different room, and they wanted me to walk to the bathroom, like get up and walk. Because that whole time I had been just pretty much sitting down in the bed, and they had like one of those pee bags attached to me, so I didn't have to go pee or nothing. It was just come out automatically. I forgot what it's called when you get one of those, but I had one of those, and they took it out of me, and they said it wasn't gonna hurt, but y'all, that mess kind of burned. Like it didn't hurt bad, but it definitely burned, and it wasn't comfortable. So when they took it out, so yeah, they had took that out, and they basically wanted me to get up and walk. So I had walked to the bathroom. It was very painful. I feel like I couldn't stand up straight. Like I was walking kind of like with my back like this, because I felt like if I straightened myself, like my incision was just gonna burst open. That's what it felt like. And I hated getting up out of the bed for the first time because it literally felt like all of my organs and stuff was just gonna fall over the freaking floor. But I had walked to the bathroom. It took me a while to get there, but I did get there. And they wanted me to try and pee and do a number 2. I didn't end up peeing until that night, I don't think. And I could feel like and the crazy thing about the pee thing is, like, I felt the urge to pee. Like, I feel like I had to pee, but every time I go to the bathroom, I would get right up to that point, like, where you're pushing and it's about to come out, and it just wouldn't come out at first. So I just kept drinking more and more and more and more water, and then eventually I finally was able to pee for the first time. And after that, I was just peeing very regularly. Like, I didn't feel any pain or anything. I don't think I did a number 2 until the next day, and they had to give me 2 doses of stool softener pills in order for me to even do that. So yeah, I had ended up doing a number 2. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember how it felt. I don't know if it felt that intense because it kind of just came out pretty easily. I know that's kind of TMI, but I didn't really have to push, so it didn't really hurt in my opinion. But yeah, I had extreme pain pretty much those 3 days I was in the hospital. Every day was pretty painful, and they had to keep me up on my meds like every couple hours. Like, if you supposed to take like an ibuprofen every 3 hours, they was on that 3 hours like clockwork, because if you miss an hour or something of medicine, you feel absolutely horrible. Like, it feels horrible. So yeah, I was getting lots of different medicines every couple hours, and they were putting it in my IV. And honestly, some of the stuff they was giving me in my IV, it hurt so bad. Like, when they would push the medicine stuff into your like your veins, you could literally feel it running through your veins, and it felt so painful. Like, I hated it. I was asking them, like, y'all sure I still gotta get this? Like, can I decline? And they was like, girl, you do not want to decline, because when the numbing effect go away and you feel this pain for real, you're gonna be like, oh baby, bring it back, bring the medicine back. So yeah, I just pretty much took whatever they gave me, and then they had sent me home randomly in the middle of the night one night, and I wasn't prepared to go home. They just was like, we're just charging you tonight after your paperwork and stuff is done. So I had to rush and pack and get all the paperwork done that day, and then they sent us home that night. And since they sent me home at night, I couldn't go to CVS to get my prescription filled because it was literally nighttime. So I had to get it the next day. And y'all, that next morning, I suffered so bad. Like, I learned my lesson. Like, you have to take your meds like every single like hour. Like, and when I say that, I mean, like, if your ibuprofen lasts 8 hours until you have to take it again, you need to take it on that 8-hour mark, like clockwork, like right on the dot. Because if you miss it, you're gonna be in so much pain. Like, it's just so painful. And when I got home, I had a lot of help. I recommend having a lot of help, because I couldn't do as much as I had wanted to do. I couldn't move around the way I wanted to. I was only allowed to go up the steps, up or down the steps once out of the day. So I live, like, where I live is upstairs and downstairs, so I can't afford to just go down there one time. So I had people helping me. They would have to go up and down the steps for me to bring me up stuff, and I couldn't stand and cook or anything like that. So you're really gonna be dependent on people to get you right. And then you got a whole newborn, and you can't like reach down and pick them up the way you want to because it's uncomfortable, and you can't do certain positions and stuff, and like you kind of still trying to figure out how to walk comfortably and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a lot. Definitely make sure you got a whole bunch of help. Don't fret too much about the surgery. The surgery is not bad, and the recovery is bad, but it shall pass. Like, the pain shall pass. You're gonna be in pain. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be a lot you can't do, but it will pass. You will heal back to how you were, most likely, or if not how you were, to a more comfortable state where you can like do stuff and stuff. Right now I'm 4 months postpartum, and I feel a lot better. I still don't touch my scar. It don't really hurt when I touch it. It just feel kind of numb a little bit, but I do sometimes randomly just feel pains right there. I heard that can go on for a long time. So yeah, that's basically my C-section experience, why I got one, how I felt, what it felt like, what I went through. I honestly don't think my experience was that bad. The worst part was honestly just the pain. Like, it really hurt after I got the C-section done and everything wore off. I was really in pain for like, and the pain lasted like a month, I would say, before it got better. And then I didn't start going up and down the steps until like sometime after that month was over. So yeah, everything is just a process and it takes time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it answered any questions that y'all had. I know y'all been waiting on this for a long time. I'm glad I'm finally getting it done, because y'all been asking me for this for a while, and I felt bad because I kept saying I was going to do it, and then I still didn't get it done yet. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe if y'all enjoyed this, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, and bye to my cranky baby. He just will not chill for this video. Like, y'all see me just doing stuff back and forth. He's very fussy, but yeah. And if y'all want to see more of us, make sure y'all subscribe so y'all can see our vlogs. Peace.